Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown where I review comic books and comic book story arcs. Today, we're finishing up the last part of my review on Venom, the Savage Six, by Rick Remender and Cullen Bunn. This is issue 22. It's not really part of the Savage Six story arc, but it does wrap up some of the things that happen in it, and so I'm putting it with my review. I'm gonna try to make this review short, seeing as it is 1 o'clock in the morning and I want to go to bed. So first off, cover done by Tony Moore, and this issue was actually, because this is Rick Remender's final issue on Venom. Sadly, Cullen Bunn is going to be taking over Venom starting with issue 23. So Rick Remender wrote this issue by himself. So this is just a Remender issue. And I have to say that the story in this is amazing. The story on this takes place on Father's Day, which is what the issue is named. It's named Father's Day, and it's pretty much dealing with Flash. He's dealing with his first Father's Day without his dad and how it's feeling, and there's a lot of flashbacks to his childhood in this and to when he was a teenager, and it's an issue a lot like issue 5, where there's not really action that goes on. It's more just of Flash's life, and it's a really, really good story. It really shows how much, really, of a bad dad, of a very abusive dad, Flash's father was to him and to his sister, and just to see how he reacted to all that when he was a kid, and so yeah, to get started, also in the meantime, there's a story going on where Jack-o'-lantern is back, and he's been killing every day since when did they say? They say sometime later, but they say that he's been killing every day for weeks, and this is actually also Jack-o'-lantern's first Father's Day without his dad, which is Crime Master. So just to get started, he kind of goes over how much of his abuse from his dad went into him bullying at school, and they actually show in one panel you see Flash and his dad yelling at him, and then in another panel you see Flash and he's beating up the nerdy Peter Parker that you see in Stan Lee's run. It's pretty funny, and then they go into when Flash is an alcoholic. I'm pretty sure this is Flash. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Flash and Betty. I kind of got used to Betty having short hair, and then I forgot that Tony Moore, even though he's not the artist on this, but then other artists draw Betty with long hair. But I'm pretty sure that's Flash, when he was in his alcoholic stage, and he's just yelling at Betty. Betty's crying. The art in this issue is my biggest issue with this issue. The art in this, it works sometimes. It works every time when there's a flashback, but when you see Venom, it works sometimes. Like going back to the first page right here, I think this was a really good drawing. But then right here, if you look closely enough, his head is kind of unevenly rounded, and just the art in this is very up and down. This art was done by Declan Shalvey, or Shalvey. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. But for the final issue of the Remender run, I really would have liked Tony Moore to have drawn it, since since they started out together and they're good friends and they started out on this series together, I feel like it'd been appropriate just to end it with the whole issue being drawn by Tony Moore, but I guess that couldn't happen. But Chauvet does a really good job with the flashbacks and also backgrounds. Like you see on the title page, they drew Venom pretty good in this page, but then you just see all the detail in the background. You see Father's Day. You see all the detail in the background, and it's just really detailed. And so the backstory behind this is Jack-o'-lantern's been killing every day since I don't know when, and he's leaving clues, or like leaving, I guess, black light arrows that Venom apparently has a black light installed in the symbiote that he can see these clues that nobody else can, and they're just arrows leading Flash to a certain building. And so he's following these where he's gonna meet Jack-o'-lantern, but while he's following, he's just remembering about his dad and how he was during his childhood, and so yeah, there's a lot of panels over here, like this whole page, starting from the bottom of that page and then going to the next page, shows when Flash was a kid trading football cards with another kid, and he wanted to do a trade back, and the kid wouldn't trade him back, so his dad goes over to the kid and he takes all the cards. And when the kid complains to his father, Flash's dad, pretty much, he's drunk, he has a beer in his hand, and he pretty much just tells him if he wants to escalate it, if he wants to fight, that he's standing right there. And he's making a big scene, and all the neighbors are coming out. And then Flash's dad's like, yeah, that's what I thought, because the other father wouldn't fight. And then he just throws all the football cards right in Flash's face, and he walks off, and he says that his father wouldn't have done a thing like that for him. So you just see that his dad was really abusive to him. And here are some panels of Venom that I actually like. Again, the art in this with Venom is very up and down, but it works sometimes. Chauvet does a really good job in these panels right here, showing kind of like the acrobatics. And in the next panel, they fast forward to when Flash is in high school, and he's talking to Liz on the phone, talking about his Hail Mary play that he always refers to in this series. And then his dad just busts into the door, or he busts into his room, and he pretty much gets very physical with Flash over a speeding ticket, and his mom is kind of just creeping in the back in the doorway. You can see his mom over there, and then he picks up his father, Flash's dad picks him up, and then he kind of just says, "Get off of me." And then, so Flash is standing up to his dad, and then just next page, terrible, his dad just punches him in the face. And then while his mom just watches, his dad is violently abusing Flash, just beating him up. And then, yeah, it's pretty bad. They go back, Venom, they show him going into the sewers, and he's still following the Jack-o'-lantern trail that he's left. He gets to a building with the X, and he goes through the door. And behind the door, really bad, Jack-o'-lantern stole Flash's dad's corpse, and he did his classic Jack-o'-lantern thing that he does, and he put candles in his head, and pretty much just and oh, he mimics. I'm not sure if he mimics his voice or what he does, but he's talking like Flash's dad, and he's like, "Let's have a talk, sonny boy." And then right here, these few panels leading to the next page, they really got me. Where Flash's face is all beat up after his dad beat him up, and his mom walks into the room, and Flash is just questioning her like, why would you let him do that to me? Why would you let him do that to your kids? He just beats them up, and you just stand there. And his mom defends his dad, and she's just like, it's your fault, Flash. You provoked him. You shouldn't talk like that. And it seems like how people in abusive relationships react to that kind of thing, where they don't blame the person in fault. They blame the victims. And she pretty much defends him, saying that Flash's dad had a rough childhood. But then you think about it, just because he had a rough childhood doesn't mean that he should give Flash a rough childhood. It should be the opposite, but that's her excuse for him. But then she walks out of the door, and then she's just crying because she knows that that's not true. But here's my main gripe with the art. This is the panel right here that really just showed me that the art was really up and down. Venom is really pissed about Jack-o'-lantern stealing his dad's corpse, and then it shows Venom about to go crazy, and you couldn't really see it good there, but it's showing his teeth and stuff, and it just does not look very good. And he breaks the table, and there's some explosive behind the corpse, and they blow up. And then another flashback. Flash and flashback. I shouldn't say those in the same thing. But another memory. Flash is thinking about everybody's at the family table, and he comes in, he's like, we won the game, and I made the winning play, and his dad is pretty much like, oh, your cousin graduated medical school this week, so, why don't you tell me when you do something important in your life? And, so yeah, Flash's dad's just really bad guy. And then you just see after the explosion, Jack-o'-lantern comes out. Jack-o'-lantern always hooks Venom's back. I noticed that. With the sickle, he always hooks his back with it. And I believe there's this final flashback. The final flashback with the final memory. I gotta stop saying flashback. The final memory with Flash's dad. He's hitting Jesse, and Flash goes to stop him, and then his dad just pretty much pushes him away, or not pushes him, he punches him away. And the fight continues with Jack-o'-lantern and Venom. Again, the art, not really liking it for me. Like, you kind of see Venom's eyes, it doesn't look right. I really wish that Tony Moore would have done this, or even Lan Medina, because I really like their art styles. But Venom comes back and he shoots Jack-o'-lantern, and then I'm pretty sure he just punches him, or he does that tentacle thing with the symbiote through his head, which again would be something that would kill him. And then you see this moment where he's got the gun and the tongue is out and everything, and he's got the gun and he's pointing it at Jack-o'-lantern. You could kill him right there. And then he just decides that, but we make choices in life. A defining moment in Flash, or for Flash, and instead of killing him, he just picks him up and takes him to the Avengers, and he gets put in jail. So I don't know, hopefully he breaks out of jail, so there will be more Jack-o'-lantern stuff. and there's him explaining himself to the Avengers like he was doing at the end of the last issue, and Betty's throwing out some photos, and then Remender ends this with a poem called, I wrote it down here, a poem called "Finish Every Day," and it ends with Flash going into bed and just turning off the lights. And finish every day, that just seems like something fitted for Flash's life. And this video is running kind of long and I have to finish it real quick, so final thoughts. Really love this issue for the story, not so much the art. Really love Savage 6, and I'll be seeing you soon. Please tune in for more videos on the Comic Book Lowdown.